suppose you feel that maybe you're lagging behind. You know, you want to do something constructive
yes.
with
You
yourself.
feel like you need to do something
yes.
like, so I don't look as if I'm wasting my life.
Exactly.
So like, I'm not wasting my life. At least I'm doing something. I'm learning how to sew. I'm learning how to do this. I'm learning how to do that. Yes, I totally agree with you. Then you mentioned something about stay-at-home moms where they are in that phase and they find out that they can do more, so they build a business around it.
Yes.
But I want to know your thoughts on this. What do you think about, since you are now doing this business and it means that you are now on the go?
Yes.
You are now very busy.
Yes.
You are now very this.
Yes.
You are now very that. So
yes.
you are no more a stay-at-home mom, literally.
You're so right.
You are no more a stay-at-home mom. So what are your thoughts on the purpose of you staying at home before is to raise your kids and give them all your attention,
yes,
and be able to shower them with. Then now you are now into this business and you are everywhere. Some of them require you to travel,
yes,
speaking engagements,
I agree,
and all of this. So what do you think? What's the dynamic between stay-at-home moms, work from home moms, business at home moms,
Tommy, that's an excellent question. Several times along the way, I would get distracted. Well, not distracted, but then I would want to, I'll discover one thing. Now, for instance, when I learned to sew, I was really excited about it. And I really wanted to, my mission in learning to sew wasn't to go commercial. I just wanted to develop that skill and be able to sew nice things for my daughter. Even at that time, I didn't have a daughter, but I was hoping for a daughter, But when I got into it, I really was opened to the world of fashion, and it was such an interesting world because I wouldn't say that I was particularly fashionable, and I really loved accessories. I've always liked accessories, but in terms of fashion accessories, it's like, maybe I'm going to go into this business, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And I realized that it was taking my focus off my kids. It would be time for homework. Even when I was in fashion school, it would be time for homework. I was always very impatient with my first son when it came to homework. Usually I would have spend time with him because every child's needs are different. For him, he required more time and a lot of patience. And I would get really, really upset with him. I know that I would spank him more than I usually would because I was a bit impatient and I just wanted to go back to what I was doing. At a point, I needed to talk to myself, and I'm like, look, this is defeating the whole purpose. I left something so that I could focus on the children. Now, something else is taking my attention away. So I learned to, just let some things just die naturally, or just put them aside for a later time. And even in terms of volunteering or giving my time, I also realized that, look, something has to give, really. You can have it all at a particular point. Prioritizing is very important. You really need to prioritize. What is most important to you for that time or at that time? So for a lot of the businesses that I have considered doing and a lot of the volunteer work, I've had to turn down some of the volunteer work. Not because I wasn't excited about it or interested, but I just knew that I didn't have the time, But as the children grew older, I was able to do more things. So we really need to strike a balance because really, as an entrepreneur, there's a whole lot of work that you do. There's a whole lot of work. So, you always have to assess and reassess. Recently, I have someone who is into business and, I was really excited. I'm going to I was really excited about it and I wanted to be involved in it. And she said, are you sure you have the time? Are you sure you're going to be able to do this? You won't be able to do some things with the children that you're doing now. Something has to be. So I'm coming to terms with my own reality and knowing that, hey, look, there's a time for everything. Patience is key.
Let's go back to before you now decide to be a stay-at-home what informs decision? In your own opinion, how do you think that someone should make a decision to be a stay-at-home mom? For example, which was a bit selfish, I made the decision myself to be a stay-at-home mom because where I was working, I had a remote job, right? I could work from home, which is, people will say yes, is a dream, but what I realized was that what was required of me was that I be at my desk at 8 to 3 in the afternoon, and my son is, and I was required to call clients and talk to people over the phone sometimes. Then I'm calling someone and there's a baby crying in the background, which is absolutely unprofessional.
Yeah.
Well, yes, unprofessional.
Yes.
So it was cutting into that time. The time that I'm supposed to sit at my desk and focus, I'm doing something else, attending to the baby, which is also unprofessional.
Right.
Because you're paying for my time at 8 to 3. You know, so I felt it was unfair to me and unfair to my employers because they are paying me for the time and I'm not exactly using their time for their work. So I felt that okay, it was time for me to leave the job because it was not going to work in the long run. It wasn't going to work. So that was what informed my decision to be a stay-at-home mom, like full-time, free. So in your opinion, what do you think? How should it go? What should the dynamics be? And I know that people's realities are different.
Yes.
But on a basic level.
On a basic level, I would say that the decision for one partner, usually the mother, to leave her day job and focus on the family should be a mutual agreement between the husband and the wife. I say that because of the financial implications, really. For one person to be able to bear the economic demand and the burden of a family, it's a lot. We know that children, you have to spend a lot of money where children are involved. I mean, for them to have optimal care, there's a lot of money required in our days. You know, and we all know the economic situation in the country. So it is good and proper for the couple to plan actively and purposefully to know that, okay, if the mom is not the main, if the mom is not the main breadwinner, okay, so can she leave her job and will the dad's or the father's or her husband's salary be enough to sustain the house? Because I say this, a lot of people have had issues, you know. A lot of people want to do this, but they are not able to. So if both husband and wife can discuss and agree and say, okay, yes, I think that we can manage ourselves on one person's income while you focus. But if it's just maybe the mother, because sometimes the mothers are the ones who see the need, you know, to stay at home and take care of the kids. If it's the mother, you have to, I mean, you have to meet your husband halfway. I don't know. But there must be some form of mutual agreement so that you guys won't have problems, you know, in the future. I know a friend of mine who didn't want to be a stay-at-home mom, but her husband had to try to convince her, please do this, it's just for a while. And she's totally grateful and happy because she sees the importance of it now. And you know, he remunerates her well. I mean, she feels it's worth it. And that brings me to the issue of finance of the stay-at-home mom. Being a stay-at-home mom does not mean that you still don't have your needs. I mean, you have needs. I mean, you want to buy underwear for yourself. You don't want to be telling your husband every minute that please, can I have some money there to do this, to do that. So in the whole process of both of you sitting down together to decide, you have to decide, okay, you have to have an allowance. I mean, the family has to pay you, in quotes, the family, the husband, he has to pay you because you have personal needs. And when I say an allowance. I don't mean the house allowance that you take for food and for running the home. It has to be specific for you. You can do whatever you want with your money. And I must say that you should save from it, no matter how small. It's important that you save as well. So, but the amount now depends on, you know, how much, you know, the husband is making. But regardless of how much the husband is making, you always have to have something of your own, you know, that you get. And again, that stipend or allowance you get always have to be reviewed from time to time. As this husband salary increases, yours have to increase. I mean, the economy is not static.
Yeah.
I mean, so you always, from time to time, review. And you should know, sometimes it doesn't come easily to the men. They'll be like, what are you buying? What's money now, this, that. Sometimes you have to be insistent as well, because, I mean, you are important. You know, so it helps to have that form of remuneration, because then it doesn't make it feel so bad. In most situations, you certainly will not get as much, or may not get as much as you would if you were working. But I mean, that you get gives you something to fall back to. You know.
Okay, since we are still on the topic of money.
Yes.
There's the emotional side to the fact that you are not contributing financially to the family or to the home. And I know that I've been there where I felt really bad that I wasn't earning money. You know. So what would you say to somebody that is in that state of, you know, having that drawback or feeling depressed about it?
Yes. I think it's important to know that we all have different functions. I mean, we do different things at different times. I mean, just look at the body. The hand does not do what the leg does. But is the hand efficient? Yes. The eyes, it doesn't do what the heart does. But is the eye important? Yes. Is the heart important? Yes. Even our nails that look like, okay, they just grew and then we cut them out. If you don't have a nail covering your fingers, that part, do you know how terrible it would be? So every function or every job, in quote, that you do at home is valuable. If your husband is bringing in the money and you are taking care of the children and you're ensuring that the home is comfortable, the home is peaceful, the food that comes out of the kitchen is healthy,